Hello, this is Miss Eby, and today we're talking about the Iliad. This week we begin one of the greatest epic poems in Western literature, and really the epic poem that began it all. We are looking at the translation by Stanley Lombardo, which is a more modern translation, should be somewhat easier for the students to read and understand. But no matter what translation you get, this is a book about the uh, human spirit, what makes it different from the divine spirit in ways, and the struggle with mortality. It was written by Homer in ancient Greece. And here's our map of Greece. It is the story of a Greek war with Troy. Uh, Troy, which is also known as Ilias, hence the name, the Iliad. This is a possibly real city. We have the ruins of what we call Troy that were discovered in 1870 by an archaeologist who actually used the descriptions in the book to find this ancient city. We know that it was destroyed many times and rebuilt, and probably was a trading center. So that's a reason why they would be disputing it. This story, more than trade, focuses on the human spirit, the human struggles of mortality. And it was told to the Greek people by the bards sitting around the fires at night. Traditionally, it was told by Homer, the famous bard of Greece. Supposedly, he was blind, and everything he wrote really was recited. He had everything memorized. This entire poem was part of oral legend, passed down from one bard to another until it was written down in the golden age of Greece. Now, these stories would have been part of the education of the Greek people, training and shaping their values and what they aimed for in human beings. As such, this is also a poem that is meant to be read out loud. So I would encourage students, and if you're reading with your student, to read this out loud and maybe act it out or add some drama to this story as you read. It will really help it come alive. This is the first example in Western literature of an epic. And there are many different definitions of epics, but the one we will be discussing is how an epic is a poem that founds a new order of life. It has the structure and discipline of a poem, but it really is about this emerging culture and civilization, something that binds the people together and gives them values and something to aim for in their own behavior. And this is really the struggle to come into this new order is at the heart of every epic in any culture. We will be discussing the Greek values, how they aimed to be heroes, what it meant to be a hero for them, and how that worked, and some of the ways in which that's kind of weird to us or new to our own cultures. Other ways in which it is similar. They are heroes not just because they are protagonists, but because they have certain qualities that are both divine, given by the gods, and mortal, things that they had to work on and develop themselves. And so the Homeric hero really is a combination of the best of divine and mortal gifts, the best of fate and free will working together. This is also a story about the friendships and relationships that develop among people as they struggle towards these ends, towards this new idea. In particular, we're talking about the four types of loves. So we have agape, philia, storge, and eros. And these are, to the Greeks, the four different types of love. And we see all of these in the Iliad. We will be discussing all of these and how they affect the human interactions and their own motivations. But the primary questions that we'll be looking at in this great epic work, this struggle of war and desire and personal honor versus familial honor, is what is a good life? What makes a life worth living? And when do you throw it all on the line? What is worth dying for? What do you suffer for? What is so good that you are willing to give up life for? And among those, do we really get to have that much of a say in our own fate? Did these Greek heroes have free will, or was everything predetermined and fated by the gods? So Our themes for this entire book, as we examine these characters and their struggles and their fights with themselves and with each other. What is a good life, and who truly gets a say in their own fate? As we begin the book this week, feel free to read along or to ask questions, and please let me know if you have any questions or anything else that you need. Thank you, and have fun.